Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita class. Thank you for taking out your precious time and coming to attend this Gita class. We are continuing our discussion from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on second chapter. Which verse we were on? Anyone remembers? We did till which verse? I think we did 62.67. 62, yes, 62, 63 we have to do. Yeah, very important verses. So this Bhagavad Gita started with a conversation between Sanjay and Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra, he asks a question to Sanjay. What did my sons and sons of Pandu do? Kim akurvata Sanjaya. He was thinking that this Kurukshetra is Dharma Kshetra. It should not affect my sons. They should not become dharmic. They should not give away the kingdom. And maybe this Dharma Kshetra will have effect on Pandavas. They'll become more detached. They will not fight. They will say, okay, please take the kingdom. Sanjay, he tells Dhritarashtra that your son will never change. Just see, he has gone to his teacher Dronacharya and he is pointing out to the mistake of Dronacharya. That you have taught Drishtyadumna and now he has arranged the entire military. So please now fight properly. He takes the name, Duryodhan takes the name of all the warriors on the side of Pandavas and he misses the most important personality. Doesn't even mention Krishna because he is not going to fight. Then he takes the name of all the warriors on his side and he mentions Karna, who was not there because he was thinking Karna will always be for my help. He'll be there to help me whenever needed. That's the difference between material people and spiritual people. Materialistic people, they count their material resources, their bank balance, their friends, their relatives, how much money they have, how much influence they have. But they forget that one most important power is Supreme Lord. They forget. Arjun, he chose Krishna, although he was given an option to choose his Narayani Sena, but he chose Krishna. Because if Krishna is not there, what's the use of Narayani Sena? Then Arjun, he gets a question, he gets a doubt, desire. Krishna, please place my chariot in between the two armies. I want to see. Yotsmanana Veksheham. I want to see how hell-bent they are to fight. And then Krishna places the chariot right in front of Bhishma and Drona because they are dearmost to Arjun. And then Arjun gets into complete confusion. He gives many reasons why he doesn't want to fight. I am feeling compassionate. How will I enjoy alone? I'll become sinful. If I kill all the men, who will protect the dynasty? And ultimately he says, I'm completely confused. He surrenders to Krishna. Shishyaste aham. That's the beginning of spiritual life. When we surrender to a teacher. And we say, I don't know, you tell me. If somebody comes thinking that, I know, but let's see kya bolte hain. Dekh ke aate hain. That is not the right attitude to hear spiritual knowledge. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Humble, submissive inquiries. They are important. Krishna, he starts describing the knowledge of soul. Arjun, you are thinking of the body. The soul is eternal. No one dies. They just change the body. The soul is unborn, eternal. Don't worry about all these soldiers. They were existing in the past. They are existing now. They will exist in future also. You are thinking of enjoyment. If you win, you will enjoy here. If you die, you will go to heaven and enjoy. You will enjoy both ways. And you are thinking of sinful reaction. Papam evashray dasman. Arjun said, I'll become sinful. In this section which we are discussing, Krishna is giving a very, very wonderful understanding. If you work for higher purpose, if you work for my pleasure, if you work to fulfill the desire of the Lord, then your activities will not affect you. That is Nishkam Karma. And then in this section which we are discussing, Krishna, he is telling Arjun, please be steady in your intelligence. A spiritualist is never disturbed by whatever he sees in this world, whatever happens to him, whatever is spoken to him. He is not disturbed by the insult. He is not rejoicing when he is praised. Praise is very attractive, right? If somebody praises us, it looks as if honey is dripping from their mouth. और बोलिए थोड़ा, कभी तो कोई बोलता है अच्छा. So this devotee, this spiritualist is not disturbed. And then in the last few verses, we heard how Krishna is telling, in this path of spirituality, one most important thing is sense control. Don't become the servant of your senses. Become the master of senses, and that is called as Goswami. Goswami is not a title. It is a, adjective. If somebody can control the senses, then they are the master. Go means the senses. Swami means master. And then now today we'll be discussing 62nd verse. So 62nd and 63rd, they are very, very wonderful verses. Krishna is telling Arjun how a person falls down, how a person gets degraded in this world. We'll recite this verse. Dhyayato vishayan pamsa sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodho vijayate. We'll take 63rd also. Krodhat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. These two verses, they describe how a person gets degraded. Somebody can read the translation loudly, please. Both verses.
While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment lust develops, and from lust anger arises.
Next verse, 63rd also.
From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material world.
So that is a sequence of fall down. How a person gets degraded. It all begins with dhyayato. It is not drishyato. Just seeing once will not create problems. What will create problem? Dhyan. When we start contemplating on something or someone, what happens? The desire to attain that object or a person increases. Dhyayato vishayan, the more you contemplate, sangasteshu upajayate, the attraction arises. I want this. You are walking on the road, there are so many billboards. Every 10 meter a billboard is there. Same billboard. iPhone 17 Pro, iPhone 17 Pro. Why they put the same billboard every 10 meters? When a person sees the first billboard, I have a phone, I don't need. After 10 meters, अच्छा है. But anyways, I don't want. After 10 meters, सच में अच्छा है. After 10 meters, all my friends are having this. After 10 meters, what if I have this? Still not decided. What if? After 10 meters, it will look good in my hand. After 10 meters, I want this. So that's how, thoughts have changed from I don't want to I want. How it has come? Dhyayato. You start contemplating. And that's how modern media is. The industry, advertising industry is bombarding. See this, taste this, have this, enjoy. That is how they have understood the human psychology. It all begins with dhyayato. And it depends on what we contemplate on. If we are contemplating on something good, the result will be elevation. If we are contemplating on something bad, then this sequence starts. Because the previous verse, Krishna has told that even if you allow one of the senses to wander, then that sense will carry away the mind with you, with that object. And then the sequence starts. Sangaste shupajayate sangat sanjayate kam. I want it. Obsession starts now. And just like a person who is a drunkard and somehow he is recovering. And as he is walking by, he sees a liquor bar. And a new brand of whiskey advertisement is there. As he sees the first sight, नया brand निकला है. Mind will say, try कर. And then you say, नहीं. थोड़ा तो. This is the better one. You have not tasted this any time. This is newer version. And the more you start contemplating, the dhyayato will become sanga, attraction. And then obsession, I want it. And then the person will not remember. He will say, why people are telling that drinking is bad? Krodha. One time one wife, she was really upset. Her husband was a drunkard. She wanted to stop somehow. So one day a newspaper article came. The bad effects of drinking. So the morning, with the morning tea, she kept the newspaper in front. And as this person, he read that newspaper, he said, "Aaj se band." So wife thought, काम हो गया. आज से बंद. बोले क्या हो गया? बोले आज से बंद. आज से न्यूज़पेपर बंद. ये क्या कुछ भी लिखते हैं लोग? ऐसा थोड़ा ना होता है. So a person doesn't understand. He will become angry. Why people are saying that this is bad, this is bad? Krodha. And krodhat bhavati sammoha. Complete delusion. Doesn't understand what is right, what is wrong. And samohat will become smriti vibhram. Last time, what happened when he was drunk? Yaad nahi aayega. How he was fallen in a gutter. He was vomiting, he had a headache. All those wrong impressions will not come to the mind. Smriti vibhram. Smriti bhramshat buddhinash. And ultimately he says, last time. Ek baar bas. So that's how this entire process of fall down starts. Is this process reversible or irreversible? Can we stop it at certain stage? यहाँ से गिरे तो नीचे ही आएंगे पक्का. If you start at dhyayato, can you stop in between, or pranashyati will come for sure? We can stop, but the more it progresses, the reversal becomes difficult. The more you have contemplated, the more the desire to get that person or object increases. So therefore, it is so very important to understand this principle. It is a very, very refined science. Krishna is speaking in Bhagavad Gita. It is how human psychology works. It is just like if a person is trying to tame a horse, and the horse is running here and there. In the beginning, if you stop, it is easy. And if the horse picks up the momentum, it becomes more and more difficult. One time a man, he got a horse. And the person who sold the horse, he said, you have to learn the trick. If you say good morning, the horse will stop. And if you say thank God, horse will run. Okay? So you remember these two words. क्या बोलते हैं? How the horse will run? देखो इसी में confusion हो गया. So thank God बोलेंगे तो horse will run. And good morning, then horse will stop. So this person said, okay, yaad kar lenge. He memorized it. Next day morning, he sat on the horse and he said, thank God. And the horse started running. And then, thank God, he keeps repeating and the horse is taking speed. And one point of time, he realized the horse is running towards the cliff. So he wanted to stop. And he's forgetting the another word. What was that? So as he's saying, thank God, और जोर से भागता जा रहा है. As he was just few meters away, he remembered. He said, good morning. And the horse stopped. And he said, thank God. So that's how it is. If we are not careful about what will make our desires run or stop, then it will be complete confusion. कब thank God बोलना है और कब good morning बोलना है. So a devotee is very, very careful when to explore the world and when to stop. We heard one verse, Krishna spoke, yada samharate chayam kurmo angani va sarvashah indriyani indriyarthebhya tasya pragya pratishtita. A devotee is like a tortoise. The 5 limbs, parts of his body is coming out of the shell, the 4 legs and the head. A devotee should know when to explore the world with his 5 senses and when to stop. That's why in front of the temple you will see sometimes a tortoise kept. Why the tortoise is there? Because they are telling, now please bring out your senses and explore the things in the temple. Take darshan of the Lord. Smell the fragrance of flowers which is offered to the Lord. Taste the prasad of the Lord. And as you go out of the temple, withdraw all your senses. So devotee is very careful. Otherwise, this dhyayato vishayan is a snowball effect. You know how an avalanche starts? It starts with a small piece of snow which starts rolling down the cliff. And as it rolls down, it starts gathering more and more snow. And then it becomes so big, it can destroy villages. That is how our thoughts affect us. We may think that our thoughts, they don't matter. I can think anything, I can see anything, doesn't matter. Everything has an effect. Everything will have a snowball effect in due course of time if we keep on doing it. So therefore, we have to watch our mental input. What are we seeing? What are we hearing? A spiritualist means very careful. What he sees, what he listens, what he tastes. Our 5 faculties, we have to be really careful. Therefore, in the last verse, what Krishna says, Tani sarvani sanyamya yukta asit. Control all your senses, Arjun. Don't allow even one to wander. If you think, ye chalta hai, ye chal jayega. No. It will take away the entire consciousness. So therefore, before going into the zone of dhyayato, we should always understand why we are going there. Before entering, we should be careful. Why I am thinking about this? So we have to be really always careful. Dhyayato leads to the next thing. It is not drishyato. एक बार देखने से कुछ नहीं होता. As it is said, first glance is innocent, second glance is intentional, third glance is victimizing. You know, if we are looking at ऐसा करके दोबारा देखा, that means फंस गए. It is intentional. So dhyayato, it is very, very dangerous. Many times we all make New Year resolutions. How many of you make New Year resolutions? Nobody makes. भाई नहीं है बना के क्या टिकता तो है नहीं एक हफ्ता भी नहीं टिकता है because we are all under the influence of these two verses. We start contemplating on something and we lose the focus. What we decided, we don't understand. So therefore, this is very, very essential to develop in the path of spirituality. Be very careful. Prabhupada writes, one who is not Krishna conscious is subjected to material desires while contemplating the object of the senses. If we are not careful on what we are contemplating on, naturally we will be affected. And then we will lose our determination to practice spirituality. The more we indulge, the more we will go away from spiritual practices. Please go back to 2.44. Krishna speaks a very important principle there. We have discussed this previously. People, they think I can see anything, I can eat anything, I can do anything. It will not affect my spiritual practices. It all affects us. 2.44. We'll recite this verse. Bhoga Ishwarya prasaktanam taya paritchetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. Bhog Aishwarya prasakta. Yeah, read the translation, somebody from the Mataji's side, somebody can read.
The minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place.
Bhog Aishwarya prasakta. Sakta, asakta, attached. Prasakta means prakrishta rupena asakta. Very attached. Those people who are attached to Bhoga and Aishwarya, I want to enjoy this world. I want all the wealth of this world, opulence of this world. Vyavasayatmika buddhi will not come. The more you indulge here, the more your attraction for spiritual process will go down. It is inversely proportional. The more you explore the world, all my friends are doing good in their life, they are enjoying. Sunday evening, इतना boring lecture कोई सुनने जाता है क्या? All your friends must be telling, your relatives must be wondering, क्या कर रहे हैं आजकल? Sunday evening को, वो भी 4 घंटा. It must be taking 4 hours, right? आना जाना प्रसाद lecture. So people who are not interested in spirituality, they indulge in all the things of this world, all the movies and all the parties. For them, they will never be interested in spirituality. It is inversely proportional. The more you do other things of this world, material things, you will not develop a desire to practice spirituality. It is impossible. Vyavasaya buddhi means one-pointed determination to practice spirituality. They may come for some time, but they will not stay along for long. It is very difficult. So therefore, when these verses they come, they are great warning for spiritual practitioners where to focus on. Sometimes when we hear these things, कुछ लोग बोलते हैं ज़्यादा ही बोल रहे हैं, टेंशन इतना क्या टेंशन लेते हैं, चलता है थोड़ा आराम से. Why you are so negative about this? One time there was a group of monkeys, and there was an elder monkey, and he was like always giving good guidance. So one day, one of the monkeys, he was about to enter the kitchen of the king. So all these monkeys, they were staying in a garden which was near the king's palace. So this monkey, one of them tried to enter the kitchen of the king, And the cook, he saw. What he did, he took out one of the burning splinters and he threw at the monkey. So somehow the monkey was saved. He didn't hit him. He came back and he told, you know what happened today? I was saved. I was about to be burnt. So the elder monkey asked, what happened? I went there and that cook threw a burning splinter. So this elder monkey said, this is a very grave situation. We should leave this place immediately. What is the relation, Baba? A chota sa problem ho raha and you are saying leave the place? He said, you know what will happen in future? Today, this monkey was saved. You know what happened? What will happen? Just nearby is the horse stable and the king's favorite horses are staying there. Tomorrow, if the cook throws a burning splinter and if the splinter lands in the horse stable, the horses will catch fire. And you know what will happen? The only way to treat horse burn is the fat of the monkeys. So the king will order that all the monkeys be killed. So therefore we should leave this place. So hearing this, how many of you are thinking ज़्यादा ही सोच रहे हैं? इतना कुछ होता है क्या? ऐसा थोड़ी ना होता है. छठिया गया है वो. So nobody cared. Nobody said, अरे ज़्यादा ही सोच रहे हैं. Just mind your own business. So this old monkey said, this will happen. You are underestimating. You are not taking my word seriously. I am leaving. So he left. And one day, as predicted by this old monkey, the monkey was about to enter kitchen and the cook threw the splinter. It went in horse stable. Horses caught fire. And the king ordered all the monkeys to be caught. And they were killed. So now when the scriptures, they give such examples, such stories, we should not think, you are really extrapolating things. It doesn't happen so, like this. But the scriptures, they are always giving warning. We should be careful. It all starts with a thought. We should not think, I can see anything, I can do anything, it doesn't matter. We have 4 kinds of thoughts throughout our day. Some positive thoughts, some negative thoughts, some necessary thoughts, some waste thoughts. And according to the research, most of the times here, our thoughts are in which category, इतने भी नहीं है, waste बोल रहे हैं. So they said 90% come under either negative or waste. Our positive thoughts and necessary thoughts are only 10%. We have not trained ourselves to think in a positive way. How many of you have been in a situation where you realize that I'm thinking too much? Why is that? ज़्यादा ही सोच रहे हैं. You are going into overthinking zone and paralysis by analysis. इतना सोच रहे हैं, सोच के. That is what is happening to Arjun in the first chapter. He is completely paralyzed. He said, I can't do anything, Krishna. You tell me what to do. And most of the times, those of you who raise your hands, you contemplate and you will realize most of the thoughts were imaginary. They never came true. That's how our mind is. Mind is expert. हिंदी में बोलते हैं राई का पहाड़, तिल का ताड़. Mind is expert in creating all the fantasy stories. So therefore, our thoughts, they are very essential. We should be very careful what we are putting in our mind. Spirituality begins when we start doing these 2 things. Remove the contamination in the mind and add the good things in the mind. Remove the garbage and add something substantial which is good. Otherwise, if you are putting something bad, what will come out? There is a principle, GIGO principle. Garbage in, garbage out. If you are putting garbage, what will come out is garbage only. So therefore, we should be very careful how we are seeing the world. What are we seeing? And to be immune from all the negative things, one very essential and powerful way is chanting of the names of the Lord. This chanting of the names of the Lord, they are very, very powerful, positive vibrations. And the more we are attentive, the more we are alert while chanting, the more we will experience the transformation. Otherwise, if we are not attentive, bead bag in one hand, mobile in other hand, then what will happen? We will say, आज का productive जपा हुआ, माला भी हो गई और मेरा टू डू लिस्ट भी बन गया, फोन भी कर लिया, उसको गाली भी दे दिया मन में. So we have to be really careful. Chanting, it is the best way to purify the mind. As it is said, Cheto darpanam arjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. Chanting, it is like cleaning the mind. Chetana, our consciousness, is like a mirror. And if a mirror is covered with a thick layer of dust, you can't see yourself. Similarly, when the mind is covered with a thick layer of contamination, we can't see our actual identity, our actual consciousness, which is pure. So therefore, we have to be immune from the bad thoughts, and chanting helps us in this. We should not be careless about, okay, I can see anything, I can do anything, doesn't matter. We have to be careful. Dhautatma Purusha Krishna Padamulam Namunchati Mukta Sarva Pariklesha Pantha Swasharanam Yatha. And what is a sign that, oh, this person is getting purified? How to understand that now I am progressing in spiritual path? This is the test. This verse is the test. Dhautatma Purusha. Dhautatma means a purified soul. जिसके चित्त से सब जो धूल है वो धुल गई है. All the dust is gone. Krishna pada moolam na munchati. He will always think, how can I come close to Krishna? That is the contemplation of a spiritualist. How can I develop relation with God more? Mukta sarva pariklesha, just like after a long travel, when the traveler comes back home, what's the feeling? A sigh of relief. Ghar pahunch gaye. Pantha swasharanam yatha. Just like when the traveler comes back home, he is completely relaxed and relieved. Similarly, connecting to Krishna, it is that experience. So chanting purifies the, all the waste thoughts, negative thoughts, and gives us a chance to connect to the supreme reality. Otherwise, desires are unlimited. Ashanam hi manushyanam kasyat ascharya shrinkhala baddha sarva pradhavanti mukta tishtati panguvat. Asha, the chain, the desire is like the chain. It is a wonderful chain. A person who is bound by the chain of desires, generally who is bound by the chain, that person can't run. He has to sit at one place. But the person who is bound by the chain of desires, he runs everywhere. Baddha sarva pradhavanti. And a person who has no desires, mukta. He is mukta, but he sits at one place. He is peaceful. So that's how, this desire, it is a very powerful thing. We have to learn to manage our desires. People, they do anger management, time management. First, we have to do desire management. Our desire management is missing. We have to learn to manage our desires. That is most difficult thing. One time a person, he was praying to God. Oh Lord, please give me a benediction in my next life. My pocket should be full of money. and I should be surrounded by beautiful women. So Lord appeared and said, Tathastu. Next life, you know what happened to him? He became a conductor of a ladies' bus. Another person, he went to God and said, Oh God, please keep me in a situation where I only get money. मुझे बस मिलता रहे, मुझे किसी को देना ना पड़े. Next life he became a beggar. मिलता रहेगा. So, jokes apart, if we are not careful about what type of desires we should cultivate, Krishna may fulfill our desires in a different way depending on our karma. अपना कर्मा गड़बड़ रहेगा तो ऐसा ही मिलता है फिर. So therefore, desire, it is said, it is like a blazing fire. Krishna speaks that in 3rd chapter. Avritam jnanam etena jnanino nitya vairinam. Kamarupena kaunteya dushpurena analena cha. The desire completely covers the consciousness of a person. It is like a burning fire. How much amount of fuel you put in the fire, it will consume everything. If the fire is small, it will get extinguished. But if it is inferno, it is huge volcanic eruption, it can consume anything. So desire is like that. So the more you try to chant regularly and connect to this spiritual sound vibration, it is very powerful sound vibration. And this sound vibration, it is not an ordinary vibration. It is given in scriptures. This Hare Krishna mantra, it has only 3 words, Hare, Krishna and Ram. When we are chanting this regularly, this can take us to the highest levels of consciousness, because this is what we are praying when we are chanting this mantra. Oh Srimati Radharani, please help me connect to Krishna and help me serve him. That is very powerful prayer. So therefore, the more we chant regularly, Pravishta Karna Randrena Swanam Bhavasaroruham Dhunoti Shamalam Krishna Salilasya Yathasharat. Just like with the first rains of the rainy season, everything is cleansed off. All the mountains, all the trees, all the roads, houses, they are all cleansed off. Similarly, when we start chanting the names of the Lord, all the contaminations in the mind, they are cleansed off. So that is very important to understand. So Srila Prabhupada, he writes in the purport, if they are not, the senses require real engagements. If they are not engaged in serving the Lord, then they will engage in serving the things of this world. We have 5 senses. Try to connect them to the Lord. Try to hear the names of the Lord. Try to chant the names of the Lord. Try to take darshan of the beautiful deities of the Lord. Try to taste prasad. All these are very powerful ways to spiritualize our senses. Otherwise, if we are thinking, I will enjoy, actually our enjoyment is very limited in this world. Okay. And all the enjoyment we have, it is very limited. It doesn't last long. We think that we will enjoy much more, but all the enjoyment, it doesn't last for long. First of all, we don't attain what we want. If we attain what we want, it doesn't stay long. And even if it stays long, it doesn't give the pleasure which we expect. So it is always in the mind. It's like when we plan for a travel on a holiday. At which stage we get the maximum excitement? At the planning stage, or after going there, or after returning? When we plan. मजा आएगा, ये करेंगे, वहाँ जाएंगे, ये खाएंगे, ऐसा करेंगे और मजा आएगा. It all stays in the mind. We don't get the actual excitement when we go there, because some things will go wrong for sure. Some things will definitely go wrong. या तो टॉयलेट में फ्लश नहीं चलेगा, कुछ ना कुछ तो गड़बड़ हो ही जाएगा. Because that's how this world is. This world is planned to give us troubles. अच्छा बनाया भगवान ने दुनिया बनाने वाले. We discussed, right? Last time we discussed this. Why Lord has made this world? To frustrate our desires, so that we can understand this is not the right place to stay and try to develop connection with Him. It's just like a child who is stubborn. I want it, I want it. मम्मी पानी पूरी खाना है वो ठेले पे जो बेचता है. मम्मी को मालूम है what kind of water is put there. नहीं नहीं वही वाला खाना है. बोले मैं बनाती हूँ घर पे. नहीं नहीं वो वाला अच्छा है, उधर का टेस्ट अच्छा रहता है, कुछ तो अलग फ्लेवर आता है उसमें. उसमें क्या डालता है वो मालूम नहीं. कभी कभी ऐसा करके So, we don't understand what is happening in the world. It looks great, but when we actually experience, जैसा सुना था वैसा लग नहीं रहा है. कुत्राशिषा श्रुति सुखा मृग तृष्णि रूपा क्वेदं कलेवरमशेष रुजां विरोहा निर्विद्यते न तु जनो यदपीति विद्वान् कामानलं मधुलवै शमयन्दुरापै. Prahlad Maharaj is telling to Nrsimhadev, he says, "Oh my Lord, it is all Shruti Sukha in this world." सुनने में अच्छा लगता है. Actually, it is not there. All the auspicious things which we hear in this world, they are just in words. Actual reality is different. Whatever we see in the movies and the billboards, most of the things will never come to reality for us. But still, we think, wow, maja aayega. That is the advertisement of this world. You will never see any person who is crying or sad in billboards. And all this bombardment is so powerful. When a person goes through problems, he thinks, इसमें भी मजा आ रहा है इसको, इसमें भी मजा आ रहा है, मुझे क्यों नहीं मजा आ रहा है? Because 25 पैसे का सर्कस है. Everybody is expecting so much that the actual reality, when it hits us, a person starts thinking, what happened? I tried my best. There is some problem. I will try again. And sometimes when things go wrong, then people, they develop renunciation for some time. That is called as Samshan Vairagya. Sometimes people, they get all the symptoms of renunciation after coming from Samshan. सब मोह माया है, क्या रखा है इस संसार में, देखो अंत में ऐसा ही होने वाला है. And as they come out of the Samshan, ये नया मूवी निकला है ना, कौन सा है? One time there was a grandmother, and she took her grandson to a birthday party and to a marriage ceremony. And then as she's seeing the marriage happening, she does अपना grandson को, बेटा अगला नंबर तेरा है. And small children, they don't want to listen all these things. बोले कोई बात नहीं दादी, मैं भी बताऊंगा. So next time, somebody died in nearby family. So the grandmother and grandson both went. So grandson बोलता है, दादी when we see all these things, the problems of this world, we think अपने साथ नहीं होगा ऐसा, या फिर अभी नहीं होगा. अहनी अहनी भूतानि गच्छन्ति यमालयं शेषः स्थावरमिच्छन्ति किमाश्चर्यमतः परम्. The most astonishing thing in this world is everybody is going to die, but those who are staying, they think not now. It is not to scare anyone. It is just to make us aware of the realities of life. Focus on the most productive things. Don't waste your time, because we have limited time available. So therefore, we should be very careful what we have to contemplate on. If we contemplate on wrong things, this whole sequence will start. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa Sangasteshu Pachayate. That is what happened to Ajamil. We have heard the story of Ajamil. He was such a wonderful Brahman with all the good qualities. Ayam hi Shruta Sampanna Sheela Vritta Gunalaya Dhritavrata Mridu Dant Satyavak Mantravit Shuchi Guru Agni Atiti Vriddhanam Shushushu Anahankritaha. So many good wonderful qualities. Shruta Sampanna, he was learned in all the scriptures. Sheela Vritta, gentle. Gunalaya, Gunalaya means only gun. No. What do you call restaurant in Hindi? Bhojanalaya. What do you call liquor bar in Hindi? Madiralaya. What do you call a library in Hindi? If somebody goes to a library and says, एक whiskey मिलेगा क्या? पहली पे क्या है? You are coming to a library and asking for a whiskey. What will you get in library? Books. So this person is gunalaya. That means only good qualities. Shruta Sampanna, Sheela Vritta, Gunalaya, Dhritavrata, very determined. Mridu, very modest. Danta, sense controlled. Satyavak, always speaking truth. Mantravit, he knew all the mantras of the scriptures. Shuchi, very clean. One day, this Ajamil, he went to a forest to collect wood for sacrifice. And there he saw, by chance, he saw a very degrading scene. A low-born person embracing another low-born lady, a prostitute. And they were doing all wrong things. He somehow saw that scene once. अभी तो जंगल जाने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. Mobile is available. Somehow he tried to control himself. But the problem is, he started this dhyayato. He tried to control, but he could not. He ended up contemplating on that lady. Dhyayato, and when we start contemplating, what will happen? What's the next stage? Sangha. Ultimately he decided, I want that lady. He brought that lady in his house. He was a married man. He brought this lady as a servant, maid servant. And then slowly, he threw his parents out of the family. He threw his wife out of the family. He married this prostitute. He started doing all the wrong things because the demand of this wife was too much. And he was a Brahman. He started stealing, cheating people. It all started with dhyayato. Stambhayanatmanatmanam yavat sattvam yathashrutam na shashaka samadhatum mano madana vepitam. Stambhayan. He was completely obsessed. He tried to control, but na shashaka samadhatum. He could not do it because his mind was struck with the arrows of Cupid. So this is very, very important to understand. What we contemplate, it ultimately comes to us. We start developing a desire to get that person or object. So a spiritual life, we should be really careful what we are contemplating on. Srila Prabhupada, he writes in the purport that it is so very difficult to avoid the obsession if we start contemplating. You have to be really careful. Okay, with this, I'll end this. Any questions so far? Okay, I'll speak one more thing from the 63rd verse purport. Prabhupada writes one very wonderful verse there. He describes what is Falgu Vairagya and what is Yukta Vairagya. You know, in Bihar there is a river called as Falgu river, Falgu Nadi. Any of you have heard this? Falgu Nadi. Why it is called Falgu? Falgu means on the river bed there is no water. It is dry. The river flows underground. So ऊपर से सूखा दिखता है. अंदर पूरा full flow is going on. So sometimes people make a show of renunciation, but inside they have all the desires. That is called as Falgu Vairagya. That means externally I'll show to the world that I am such a detached person, but when nobody is seeing, I will indulge in all the things. So therefore, Prabhupada says, it depends on what are you contemplating on. If you are contemplating on wrong things, you will develop a desire to get that. Okay. Any questions anybody has? Any questions, comments, thoughts? Please feel free to ask. When we ask, others also get benefited. Jan hit mein jari. Should never be shy in asking questions. Yes, you can raise your hands. Mic will come to you. Yeah. So you can just change that. हरे कृष्ण. इसका वॉल्यूम बढ़ाइए. हरे कृष्ण. थर्ड में डालिए. सेकंड का गड़बड़ करते हैं. कम करिए. हरे कृष्ण. या यस क्वेश्चन.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
The
Krishna.
two shlokas which you have just explained, under what context Krishna is telling this to Arjuna?
Okay, so the previous verse we had discussed last time. In the path of spirituality, you can take the mic. In the path of spirituality, Krishna says one should be really careful in controlling the senses. If you allow even one of the senses to wander, it will change the direction of your destiny. And then he says, you know what will happen if you don't control your senses? This will happen. Dhyayato, if you start contemplating on wrong things, then this sequence will start. So this is the result of contemplating on wrong things. If your senses are uncontrolled, you are looking and trying to enjoy everything in this world, then this sequence will start. As a spiritualist, two principles are very important. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. Accept whatever is favorable for spirituality. Reject whatever is unfavorable for spirituality. What is favorable? There are 6 things which are favorable. Utsaha, Nishchay, Dhairya, Tat Karma Pravartan, Sang Tyag and Sato Vritti. These are the 6 favorable things. We should be enthusiastic. Utsaha. I want to go for Bhagavad Gita class today. Although the mind will give 108 reasons why not to go today. आज तो इतना busy day. आज तो थक गए. Every week I am anyways going. आज थोड़ा break लेते हैं. Still be enthusiastic. Utsaha. Nishchay. We should have confidence in this path of spirituality. This is the best path. Nishchay. And there are many things we will discuss sometime later. Utsaha, Nishchay and Dhairya. Sometimes in our practice of spirituality, we will not get the result as expected. Be patient. हॉस्पिटल में बैठ के तो पेशेंट बोल ही सकते हैं. पेशेंट कांट डिमांड आज कैश ठीक करो मुझे. पेशेंट, इसलिए पेशेंट नाम दिया है. बी पेशेंट, हैव पेशेंस. धैर्य, उत्साह, निश्चय, धैर्य. tat karma pravartan means follow the rules and regulations given by the teachers, given by scriptures. 5th, sang tyag. Give up association of people who are not interested in spirituality. That means, what is the meaning of giving up association? That means don't discuss anything spiritual with them. If you know this person is not interested in spirituality, don't discuss anything. Just stay away from that person if not needed. Just do the needful. Because in your family or in your colleagues, in your company or whatever job, business, there are many people who are not interested in spirituality. You can't just say प्रभु जी ने बोला है संग त्याग, कल से ऑफिस बंद. Do the needful. Whatever is needed, basic minimum, do that. Sato vritte, follow a life of sattva guna, mode of goodness lifestyle. Shadbir bhakti prasidhyati. These are the 6 ways in which our spiritual life flourishes. What are the 6 unfavorable things? Atyahara, prayas, prajalpa, niyamagraha, janasanga, and laulya. Atyahar means trying to get more than what we need. In the gross sense, eating more than necessary. Or not just eating, seeing something more than necessary, hearing something more than necessary. Atyahar. Prayas means endeavoring more than required. Whatever is required to live a proper life, please do it. But don't endeavor much more. I am working 9 to 5 and I am getting 4 lakhs per month. But अभी नया ऑफर है, proposal है night shift का 10 to 2 and I am getting 2 lakhs more. So what will happen? What will mind say? कर लेना, क्या problem है? Later you can practice spirituality nicely. अभी क्या जरूरत है इतना टेंशन लेने का? But what will happen? And as we'll work more, we may get more money, but now we have no time for our spiritual practices. Because I have to take care of my family also, my health also, relatives also. So unnecessary endeavor should be avoided. Atyahar, prayasa, and third is the most important. Prajalpa. Prajalpa in our context is gossip. बैठ के गप्पे मार रहे हैं. Unnecessary things. ए उसने क्या किया मालूम है? नहीं मालूम, I will tell. And then you start speaking about all the things people do, and then after 2 hours you say, अरे जाने दो ना, अपने क्या करने का है. Just wasting time. Prajalpa. Anything which is not helping us in spiritual practice, don't speak it. Speaking about others' faults. People, they get so excited, when they start speaking about others. अंदर से ऐसा ecstasy, मजा आता है. And you tell them, you glorify this person. इनमें क्या अच्छा है glorify करने के लिए? Can you speak out some faults? Some. I have ocean here. Prajalpa. Niyamagraha. Following the rules without understanding why we are doing what we are doing. Or rejecting something because it is too difficult to do. Fifth is Janasanga, association of people who are not interested in spirituality, just give up that. Laulya, we should not be greedy about the things of this world. Just get whatever is needed. Do the needful basically. So these are the realities. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Any questions, thoughts, comments? क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछते हैं. क्वेश्चन मतलब या तो सब समझ गया है. Yes, I think Mike is here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Your good name, please.
Amit.
Amit ji. Hare Krishna. बोलिए.
So, as a householder, we are earning our livelihood and we work in the office, and somewhere, as you said, we should do the needful and fulfill our needs. And some desires are behind needs, so we should fulfill them. But let's say when we are going to the office daily or looking for, let's say, the next promotion or trying to, so what should be the attitude while working? Like as you mentioned about Nishkam Karam Yoga, should it be something like you are working for as your duty, or what should be the attitude while working in a proper way?
Yes, thank you. Very, very important question. What should be the mood in which a spiritualist should work? No, materialist people, they work only for one purpose: enjoy. I want to enjoy life. I want to make myself happy and my family happy. For that, anything is okay. I will earn, I will work hard. That is the purpose of a simple person, ordinary person who is working, who has no goal, no spiritual goal. Now, the problem is when people think the more they'll work, the more they'll be happy. The more they'll earn, the more they will enjoy. But it doesn't happen that way. Otherwise, billionaires should be the happiest people. It doesn't happen like that. It is a grand illusion which is made in this world. The more we turn to spirituality, we start reading Bhagavad Gita, understanding scriptures, we start looking beyond the glamour, the veil of glamour. जो ग्लैमर का जो पर्दा है उसको हटा के देखने के लिए चांस मिलता है. Then we start realizing it is all propaganda. The more we will earn, the more you will enjoy. It is not the case. Then spiritualist starts thinking, okay, now what should be the mood in which I should work? I also want to maintain my family. I also want some, conveniences, and it is not bad. We all should have. But the difference in the mood is, earlier I was working so that I could enjoy. Now I will work with my full capacity, giving my best. But why I'll work? Because now I want to bring God in my life. I'll work nicely so that I can earn better and make my family closer to God. Myself become conscious of Krishna. For that, whatever is needed, I will do. I will not work like a workaholic, working really hard. I will do my best, keeping some time for my spiritual practices also. At the same time, not allowing myself to be exploited by my colleagues. Because my colleagues will say, ये तो आजकल भगवद गीता क्लास जा रहा है, आजकल ये समाधि में रहता है, आजकल ये संतुष्ट हो गया है. Now we can step on him. No. A spiritualist, he is firm. Because he understands, if I will not work properly, if I will not get my promotion which I deserve, then I will be disturbed. I will not be able to focus on my spiritual practices. And I had plans to serve Krishna in this way, that I will not be able to fulfill. So everything remains same externally. What changes is our internal wiring changes. Why we are working now. And that is a better mindset. Because now whatever is happening to me, I will not be affected because I am doing it to please him. It's just like a soldier who is killing hundreds of people on the border. He is not given punishment. On the contrary, he is awarded. And if the same person comes and kills one civilian in the country, he'll be punished. So a spiritualist, he gives his full, but he depends on Krishna. That is the essential instruction of Krishna to Arjuna. Nishkam karma. Work for me. Then you will be free from all the sinful reactions. Then you will not be affected. Otherwise, when we work, we are bound by the results. ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, तो मुझे उसका फल भी मिलेगा. I'll have to suffer. But now I'm working for Krishna. I'm maintaining my family because they are also children of God. I am not maintaining because I want to enjoy. Still I'll maintain. The maintenance will remain the same. But why will change? So that is the understanding. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Any other last question, or we'll have some little kirtan?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks, you have given an idea which how to put in practice Niskam. We are doing the thing for the result actually, and we forget the Lord Krishna. So what practice we should make? So our conscience will be clear to Niskam work.
That is what we are trying to learn, the ABCD of spiritual life. Association of devotees, books, chanting and diet. That is our fundamental principle. The more we learn these four things, the more we will advance in this Nishkam Karma Yoga, which is devotional service. We are not so much for Nishkam Karma, we are for Bhakti Yoga. Nishkam Karma Yoga is one level below Bhakti Yoga. Nishkam Karma means I will offer my results to Krishna. Bhakti Yoga means I want to please Krishna. There is a difference. In Bhakti Yoga, you develop attachment to the Lord. Nishkam Karma, there is not yet attachment. I am just giving all the results to government, to God. But Bhakti means now I want to love Him. I want to connect to Him. So this process of Bhakti Yoga, which begins with Shravanam, Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam, that brings one to the stage of developing connection with the Lord. That is Bhakti Yoga. That's what we are practicing. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.